Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching CNN News 18. This is the explosive weekend debate with me, Poonam Burde. Before we get into the big debate of the day, and that is Prime Minister versus opposition yet again, let's get you started with some breaking news coming in. After the CBI grilled K. Kavita for over 7.5 hours, she's now at KCR's residence. Remember, she was quizzed by the CBI in the Delhi liquor policy alleged scam. Swastika, my colleague, now joins me for more on this. Swastika, after 7.5 hours of intense grilling by the CBI, K. Kavita at KCR's residence amid a show of strength.
Yes, this is a show of strength. In fact, before the questioning also there was a show of strength, and now after the questioning also there was one. Kavita greeted by hordes of supporters who had come in from different parts of the state to meet her, and there were also posters of her saying Kavita will fight back, and Kavita is the daughter of a fighter. So that was the political messaging that the TRS party is going for. But talking about the investigation, she was questioned for 7.5 hours nearly, and she was primarily asked about the South Group, in which her name allegedly featured along with three other persons, Sharath Reddy and Vangoti Srinivasalu Reddy. She was asked whether she was aware of the allegations against her, the 100 crore kickback that the South Group allegedly gave to Vijay Nair. Besides that, the CBI sources have made it clear that there will not be any questioning tomorrow. However, there could be one in the near future as the CBI investigates the Delhi liquor scam case thoroughly, and Kavita's name had cropped up time and again. That's the reason why we can't fully say that she's off the radar, but perhaps there is a questioning that is likely in the near future, but not tomorrow. That is a confirmation that we have.
Right. So far, a second round of questioning is a possibility. We don't know when that is going to happen. Do we have any details of what kind of questions were posed to her today during that 7.5 hour marathon questioning?
Well, sources have told CNN News 18 that 5 CBI officials questioned her, and she was questioned about whether she knew any of the accused or had any business partnership going on with them. The second line of questioning was, of course, on the basis of the ED's report of Amit Arora, the remand copy, which stated that Kavita, along with 2 other persons, led a South Group, which allegedly gave a kickback to the tune of 100 crores to Vijay Nair of the Aam Aadmi Party to tweak the liquor policy in order to help them gain money illegally. Now, the other line of questioning, of course, was from Kavita's side, where she said that where is the proof that you have against me? I am complying with you as a law-abiding citizen, but as far as the investigation is concerned, there is nothing that has come up against me. And she also indicated that this is perhaps a ploy, a political vendetta of sorts, which she had in fact spoken out earlier as an instrument to stifle the voice of the opposition. That is what Kavita also echoed during her questioning. But overall, during the 7.5 hours of questioning that took place, it rather went smoothly is what we are able to understand. And Kavita also complied with the authorities. That is what we are learning.
Right, Swastika. Thank you so much for getting us the latest.
शॉर्टकट से कोई देश चल नहीं सकता। देश की प्रगति के लिए स्थायी विकास, स्थायी समाधान के लिए काम करना, एक लॉन्ग टर्म विजन बहुत ही जरूरी है।
जो भी होता है इनका काम, उद्घाटन, बातें, वो सिर्फ चुनावी माहौल के लिए होती हैं। और वो एक भारतीय जनता पार्टी तो एक इलेक्शन मशीनरी अपने आप को समझने लगी है। ये चुनाव खत्म किया तो दूसरे चुनाव, तीसरा चुनाव, अगर चुनाव नहीं हो रहा है तो सरकारें गिराएंगे।
Prime Minister Modi today hit out at the opposition during his speech in Nagpur. He was laying the foundation, inaugurating several developmental projects where he was speaking of how Vikas needs to be at the forefront of all policies. He warned against opposition's shortcut politics. The Prime Minister sharpened his attack against his political rivals. Of course, it was a veiled jibe where he said that those political leaders adopting shortcuts are the biggest enemies of the country. He even went on to say that those who aim to gain power by making false promises cannot make a government. He also went on to remind the opposition that such shortcut politics is dangerous for the country. It is the biggest enemy of the economy. Those are the words the Prime Minister used. Meanwhile, the opposition fumed. They came out and launched a scathing attack on the Prime Minister. They said Prime Minister can't lecture the opposition because his party believes in toppling state governments and misusing central agencies, and that really is shortcut politics. So it's shortcuts versus sabotage. Is this the pitch for the electoral campaign now, and that's really the plank, or is that really the plank that we see in several of the state elections that we are going to see next year, and of course in the run-up to the 2024 general elections? Joining me on this broadcast is BJP spokesperson Rajiv Pandey. Author and political analyst Shantanu Gupta is with me. Congress spokesperson Atul Patil also with me. AAP spokesperson Siddharth Sharma. But the first question I want to ask is to the TMC spokesperson, Professor Manojit Mandal. Professor Mandal,
yes.
The first reaction that came to the fore to the Prime Minister was from TMC, was from Saket Gokhale, where he said that you can't lecture us because you are at the helm of affairs. You belong to a party that believes in overthrowing democratically elected governments. The Prime Minister was speaking of economy and how this kind of freebie culture is detrimental to the state of economy of state in particular and of the country in general. Why the comparison?
Does the Prime Minister want to suggest that the schemes that his government is running, like the Gujarat Vikas or the Ujjwala scheme, those schemes should be stopped? I mean, this is amazing. India is a welfare economic state. Everyone knows. I mean, look at the preamble of the Constitution. You talk about justice for the people, political, social, and economic. Everyone knows that this is a developing country. And we need a vision. Of course, we need a vision. And if you cannot provide a vision, then it's your problem. You cannot blame the state government and at the same time block certain state governments because of political reasons on economic fronts like they are doing with Bengal. All the major central government schemes which are shared by the state government, they are not giving the money. They are creating a kind of economic blockade for us, right? And I repeat, yes, my good friend Saket Gokhale is absolutely right. On top of this, you are misusing the central agencies to muzzle the voice of the opposition. When you talk about democracy and at the same time muzzle the voice of the opposition, that means that you are actually creating a kind of hypocritical stance in this country. You cannot really lecture us on the idea of democracy, which is, I think, the cornerstone of development of any nation, of any country. Liberty of thought and expression. If you take that away, the idea of development, the progress of nation is certainly in danger. Mr. Prime Minister, preach, fine, but practice what you preach.
Sure, but I again like to ask you the question that I asked you. What was the comparison that Saket Gokhale was trying to make, or the TMC was trying to make? We're talking about the economic fallout of such policies. Because the Prime Minister also spoke of how these policies must be sustainable, not just in the short term, but in the long term as well. Because it's not just about one particular party, any party, gaining power in any particular state or in the country.
I repeat, the policy framing, long-term policy framing of the nation lies with the Prime Minister of the country, with the central government of the country. TMC has never been in the power. This government, if you remember in 2014 when they came to power, they talk about Vision 2020. That by 2020, every person should have pakka household. Now it has been pushed to 2030. So they are actually, they themselves are breaking the promises that they made.
Sure.
And now, kind of election speech that the Prime Minister is known for making is again making another election speech. Though there is no election around the corner, But he has to thrive on this election speech, which I repeat, he does not really practice. His own government, his government at the center, they don't practice. If we talk about sustainable developmental policy, it has to be framed by you in accordance with the state government, whereby you cannot selectively choose a particular state government because you are politically opposed to the state government to block the money.
Sure.
I repeat, we are supposed to get 1 lakh crores money from the central government, which are legitimate claims in terms of GST, in terms of other schemes,
Sure.
and in terms of taxes as well.
Sure, so the
But
Prime Minister is not practicing what he preaches, is what the TMC and what the opposition is saying, Rajiv Pandey, and that's the allegation, among the other allegation, that the central government has also announced several of these welfare schemes. So how does it become welfare when the centre and the BJP announces it, but it becomes a freebie when other parties do it?
Poonamji, welfare scheme will continue because BJP is committed to the upliftment of the downtrodden people, for the poor people. That will continue. There are two aspects. One is the sustainable growth and development. Another is freebies. You know, whatever central government policies are there, that is for upliftment to the people who could not reach to that level where they would have been under the previous government. Now I'll give you two examples, very small. Today he was delivering a speech when he was doing Lokarpan of one of the biggest, Mahamarg. I want to ask all opposition leaders, let them show one Mahamarg like this. In Maharashtra, because today the matter was in Maharashtra, Mumbai-Pune highway was made by Nitin Gadkari ji when he was minister. And today this highway work started when BJP was in power, Deven Fadnavis was CM. And today it is delivered to the people of Maharashtra, to the people of this country. So development, they just do some khana purti, maine karunga, dekhunga. They do only do some puja at the beginning, and then it is not completed. What he was saying, it should be a sustainable growth. I will give you another example. Congress party was in power in center 2004 to 2014. Am I right? NPS was introduced in 2004. Till 2004 to 2014, they kept mum. And now for votes, they are going and spreading misinformation that we will bring OPS. What Honorable Prime Minister was saying, don't try to fool people. You see, Nyaya scheme, Congress party brought in 2009, that I will pay 6,000 rupees per person. People rejected. This time, Aam Aadmi party said, we'll pay 30,000 rupees per family. From where? I don't know. From where they will get this money? People said, no, we don't want this freebies. And you are a liar. And people has rejected. He has won 5 seats. I think 2-3 has already left the party or about to leave. Because people of
Gujarat... But
Gujarat
that same plank seems to be working in other states because the Aam Aadmi party has won in Punjab and the OPS scheme that you mentioned, Mr. Pandey, has perhaps been the winning factor as far as Himachal is concerned for the Congress.
As far as Himachal Pradesh is concerned, we have got just 27,000 less vote than Congress. And because of many other issues, that is not the debate. What I am trying to say, in some state it may work.
So when are you going to buy some of their MLAs?
Why is coming in between? Did I disturb Poonamji? This is not fair.
Sure. Professor Mandal, please.
Go on.
Yes, go ahead.
This is nonsense.
Yes, Mr. Pandey, go ahead.
One of their spokesperson was arrested for spreading lies. They are from the party. They are learning from us.
Sure. Let's not divert. Professor Mandal, you interrupted him, and there's a response coming. But let's not digress from the subject at hand. And Rajiv Pandey, 30 seconds, finish your point. Let me get in the other panelists as well.
I'm concluding the as you have raised this issue. In some states, it's working, but in the long run, what Honorable Prime Minister is telling to the people, of the nation, that look. If somebody is coming and promising something, you have to ask whether this is sustainable or not. What BJP is doing, the kind of construction of roads, the kind of construction of infrastructure, the kind of construction of the airports, the kind of construction of the defense equipments in the country.
So it's not all...
I am only talking about that.
So you have to walk the talk. Yes, So you have to walk the talk, and the BJP spokesperson on the panel named both the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress. So I would like to get in a response from both of them. But starting with Atul Londe Patil, because Maharashtra is where this comment was made by the Prime Minister. And the BJP says that The Congress has been in power at the centre, has been in power in Maharashtra for several years, but very little was done. It was all about advertising, and now it's the BJP that is actually implementing all that is being said.
See, Poonam, India got independence on 26th May of 2014, according to BJP, and they are celebrating 75th year of our independence. So I don't want to get into that. The real debate is Narendra Modi has destroyed this Indian economy in last 8 years, and he want to just save himself from that blame, and that is blaming opposition. Let me tell, he has brought up three policies which has destroyed Indian economy. The first was demonetization. Second was faulty implementation of GST, and third was a lockdown without taking into consideration the realities of the COVID. This has destroyed Indian economy. The person who has given a jumla of 15 lakh into accounts of every Indian, the person who said he will bring back all the black money, and there is no talk about the black money. The person who is talking about the sustainable development, he is selling all the profit-making Maharatna companies of the India, which gives not only jobs to the poor people, educated poor people, brought them into the higher middle class. He has talking about his failures by not telling why the LIC's valuation was brought down from 30 lakh crores to 17 lakh crores. Why he is selling all the properties hard-earned by the people of India in last 70 years for peanuts to his so many good friends. What about the non-performing assets that are increasing every day? What about the 11 lakhs previous given to his good friends who are big businessmen? What happened to the recovery from there? They are talking about the welfareism. We have given a good formula, a unique economic model to the people of India, to the economy of India. We, at a time of making infrastructure development, I just want to remind him, the airports of Bangalore, Chennai, Calcutta, Mumbai, Delhi, Golden Quadrilateral roads.
Respond my that question.
See, the same thing you are doing. Same thing you are doing, Rajiv Pandey now.
Only
Please,
NPS. I asked
please keep quiet.
specific question.
Please, I'll answer NPS also. I know what NPS is and what OPS is. You just have a patience, bhai. Have a patience. जब पोल खुल रही है तो डर लग रहा है. Have patience. Listen to me carefully. So, whole economy is destroyed. Our current account deficit is at 3%. The loans on in India increased from 57 lakh crores to 153 lakh crores. Everything is destroyed. We are facing 70 years highest unemployment rate. What the hell you are talking about economy? Why you are talking about sustainable development? Do you know what is the meaning of sustainable development? What the hell you people are doing for the sustainable development? You are just making roads by extracting tolls in the name of fee. You are charging fuel in the name of cess, which is non-divisible between center and state. You are earning whatever is possible for the center, and you are not giving the real due of state governments.
Sure, that's the argument that the TMC was also making, that a lot of money is owed by the centre, but because it is opposition rule state, that the money never reaches them. And Shantanu Gupta, while we're talking about... 30 seconds, Patil. 30 seconds, Mr. Patil, go ahead.
No, the larger question...
The core debate should be... Modi has spoiled the Indian economy.
Mr. Patil,
we are reeling under a debt to GDP ratio is 87%. We should be below 60%. We are facing the highest unemployment rate. Our economy is literally destroyed, and we want to save himself.
Now she has asked me the question. Allow me to respond, Mr. Patil.
He is trying to save himself from getting blamed for destroying economy. That is the real debate.
That's great. Thank you. Congress Party. What I am saying, Poonamji, I had asked a specific question. Now don't.
Collective fiscal deficit of center state is 20%. You don't want to answer the real questions. You don't want to answer the real debate of the Indian economy.
I request you both gentlemen to stay on with me. I have two other panelists on this panel who have been patiently waiting, and unfortunately I haven't been able to go to them. But Shantanu Gupta, let me ask you this. It's about the economy, then it should be a parameter for everyone. Is there a different yardstick to judge opposition leaders and the promises they make, and a different parameter to judge the Prime Minister and the promises that the BJP makes? Like the Congress was saying, that NPAs have been written off, loans to big businessmen have been written off. Even the free grain scheme that was started during COVID has been extended far beyond COVID lasted. Many would say that was just an eye on elections that came around this time.
I think it's a little bizarre to hear a lot of economic parameters that panelists are quoting. I think, and they're quoting out of context. See, we all have, the whole world has faced almost 2 years of Corona and the Ukraine-Russia war, and so you have to see from IMF to World Bank to Indian agency, they all have shown the data that India is the fastest economy among the large economies. After all of that, so if you pinpoint India's data, Indian data may look bad, but in comparison to the whole world, India has the strongest economic data post-corona, post-conflict. See, Prime Minister is making the remark that don't do a shortcut politics. And when he's doing that, when he's inaugurating one of the longest, first phase, one of the longest expressways in India, when he's inaugurating one more metro among the many metros that India has started in the last 7-8 years. In last 7-8 years, the whole world has seen that what kind of very positive politics Narendra Modi has started. And he's saying, so within last 3 weeks, you can see, he goes to G20, he shows how a global leader should behave. When Corona comes, he shows how the national leader should behave. And during Gujarat election, he becomes a karyakarta. In fact, every political leader, every student of politics should understand, should learn from him, right? I'm saying on TV, I'm sure every political party, it's a paid job for them. They will come and defend it. But I'm sure everyone enjoys the energy of Narendra Modi. And it's huge to learn from like Narendra Modi. And it's fortunate for many people to be contemporary with Narendra Modi.
Sure. Siddharth Sharma, go ahead.
We are not paid people, paid analysts.
Let's not make this personal, sir. Mr. Patil, let's not make this personal, please. Let's not make this personal. Let's not attack the panelists on this panel.
No, he's actually paid.
Let's not. I request all you gentlemen to not make this personal. Let's stick to the subject, please. And Siddharth Sharma, go ahead.
And
Siddharth Sharma, go ahead, because this.
I go ahead unless other people stop speaking, right?
Mr. Patil. Sure, Mr. Patil, let's stick to the points that are being made on this debate. Let's stick to
the panelists. How can I speak?
Yes,
Poonam.
Yes, Siddharth Sharma, go ahead.
Yeah, my point is very simple. What the Honorable Prime Minister said today was rhetorics aside. This was a message to BJP and its shenanigans across states not to take shortcuts while forming governments by doing Operation Lotus. This is what his message was. Because otherwise, what he has been doing, the Prime Minister, just like the Prime Minister has been giving out Ujjwala Yojanas to rural women, if Delhi government is also giving free travel to Delhi women, it's the same. Just like the Prime Minister has offered free vaccines to people across India, if Delhi is offering free electricity to people of Delhi, it's the same. What he's essentially, the message from the Prime Minister is to the BJP brass that don't let people like Vijay Mallya run away with lakhs of rupees. Rather, copy Mr. Bhagwant's Man model, wherein the MSP of 17,000 rupees was paid to the farmer. So I think we are totally missing the forest for the bushes here. The message of Prime Minister was for the BJP and not for others. What he is saying is that this kind of model that the Aam Aadmi Party has been following in Delhi, which now has also the blessings of the CAG, because the CAG is also saying that the economic fiscal model that the Aam Aadmi Party is following in Delhi is profitable. It is not running under loss. Delhi, as of today, has the lowest inflation rate in India. So exactly, the Prime Minister is today, by the message, rhetorics aside, the polemics aside, his message is try to learn from Delhi. They do some good fiscal management. That is what the point is.
Right, so it wasn't really a lecture, Rajiv Pandey, to the opposition. It was actually a lecture to the BJP themselves.
Poonamji, I don't want to talk on the jokes and sarcastic comments. There are two aspects. One first,
did
I
the
asked
Prime Minister
Congress
take
Party,
Aam Aadmi Party's
can
name?
you keep quiet?
Mr. Pandey, did the Prime Minister take Aam Aadmi Party's name?
If
he did not take,
no, I didn't say.
It is not a joke. It is a message to the BJP to stop.
And Siddharth Sharma, you had your say. Let him respond.
It's a very serious comment. It's a very serious comment that I made.
You are bringing
let him rebut. And let him rebut, Siddharth
Sharma. What I'm saying, I had raised a specific question about the 10 years government was there in the center. NPS was not replaced by OPS. No response. Second point, every time we will see that we'll talk about GST. Can I just complete, Mr. Patil?
Sir, I'm running short of time. 30 seconds so that...
I'm only saying,
yes, 30 seconds.
Where is waiver? Waiver and return of is different things. Though not a single rupees is waived. If Patil proves that one businessman 1 rupee is waived, I will accept. I will leave politics. Return off, if they don't understand basic accounting practice, I cannot do anything. They don't understand basic economic practice. You know, return off.
Yes, Mr. Patil, go ahead. 30 seconds to rebut the allegations which is directly made against you. 30 seconds to rebut, but I really have to wrap this up. I'm running short of time. Mr. Patil, go ahead.
See, he's talking about the NPS. NPS was basically introduced by the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government, and we had a very bad experience about it because it is not providing proper security net to the old age. This is number one. So that is why we are replacing it for the sake of people. So welfareism does not mean we see Rajiv, listen. We are the government. We have started the discussion about the rationalization of the society because we have all the stratas. We have poor people, we have middle class people, we have rich people also. I'm not talking about who has fled away with the money, who has duped the banks. I'm not talking about that. I am seriously talking about the Indian economy. Even if you discuss before 2019, before the COVID, Indian economy was already destroyed. And this gentleman analyst is comparing $20 trillion economy, $23 trillion economy with a $3 trillion economy. And that too, the growth was related to the low base. All parameters are.
Can I get 10 seconds?
Low base is 6.3% they're talking about. But what about the manufacturing?
Sure. So there are many parameters of the economy that the center should speak of. Professor Mandal, yes, 10 seconds.
No growth and inflation.
Professor Mandal, go ahead.
Please. Just look at the Prime Minister, how he was copying Mamta Di on the schemes. Kanyasri, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. 2013 Mamta Di, 2016 Mr. Modi. Shastra Shakti Mamta Di 2014, Mr. Modi Ayushman Bharat 2018. This is the way you have been imitating the state, especially Mamta Banerjee, and now you are criticizing the same. In fact, you are criticizing yourself as well.
Sure.
So please, I repeat.
Sure. So the politics over this continues. The BJP and the Prime Minister cannot lecture us, says the opposition. That debate continues and it will only peak once we have elections come around in other states and, of course, ahead of 2024. But I thank you all, gentlemen, for joining us here on this broadcast with your perspective. With that, it's a wrap from me on this edition. Thank you so much for tuning in.